Hey guys, PipLupFan77 here, and I'm currently editing episode 24, and I thought I could do a short little kind of tutorial, or just to show how I do things. So, everything up till this point has been animated. Everything is, solid in chunks all together. And then when you get to this part, everything starts getting all split up and whatnot. So, I'm basically just showing how I lay stuff on the timeline and then go from there. I mean, people probably don't think about it too much, like, oh, you just put it on the timeline and you do it, but I just kind of wanted to show what I do. So, as you can see, I've already gotten the audio laid down for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8 lines or so. And I usually like to put the audio down first, because then you can just kind of animate to the audio. I think it's easier to do that. And it also allows you to, edit the audio to make it sound believable and realistic, and then put the animation to it. And sometimes, obviously you can tweak it afterwards. These dots, if you're not familiar with Vegas, they're just places the audio can rise and lower, and you can add dots just like that by shift-clicking on the line. But anyway, so this is already split up. This whole section I just split up right before I started recording. But then this is, where it starts to, and it's a little choppy probably because I'm recording, but this is where it's, the entire shot is in one chunk. So, I have the default, new image length on Vegas set to the shortest you can have it, which is this length right here. And if you notice, I actually don't animate at that length very often. I usually have the first frame and last frame of an action be double the length, and then have probably 1 or 2 other frames in there that are like that. I think that's just a good look for my show. And, there are several different ways to animate, so I'm not saying that mine is right or yours is wrong or anything, but that's just what I do. If I only have 3 frames, yeah, like right here, they'll all be double the length, and that will look like that. So anyway, I'm getting off track here. Alright, so I already split this whole section up. So what do I do here? This is, the big chunk of frames. It's the entire shot. As you can see, what I've done, I like to basically, you see I have these all selected right here. I like to take all the shots from all the images from a specific shot and lay them all down together, and then make the last one really long just so I know where it ends. And then I like to keep doing that sometimes and just stack them all up. And actually, for my camera, it doesn't completely fill the aspect ratio. This is what it looks like if it's not stretched. It's barely stretched, like so minuscule that it's kind of not noticeable. But and actually, when I render this, the bars get a lot thinner, but they're still there. So I like to do everything with not maintaining aspect ratio, just so it fills the bars. Okay, Jesus, I don't even know what I'm trying to do here, but maybe this is interesting. Okay, so as you can see, I've got several shots here that are all in their chunks. They're different, angles and stuff, but they're all actually this one's already animated. But, when there's multiple, when it's not just one movement, like that Sonic one I just showed, like that, that's just one movement. But this is several movements. In fact, Sonic and Eggman both move in this. So, what I do for this, what I like to do, is kind of go through it, find where each action ends, and then split them up that way. Instead of trying to do it while I animate to it, I like to just do this. I like to go through, find where each action ends, and just split them all up and make the last frame really long so I know where they all are, and it's easy to find, where each one ends. And don't worry about, well, I'm not worrying about, the lighting changes or lighting mistakes at this point, because I do that. I do that later. And since I'm actually able to record Vegas, while I'm editing now, I'll probably do another little editing something like that. So yeah, I like to finish going through. Actually, right here, you can see the focus changes. It's focused on Sonic, and then it's focused on Eggman. So I like to make that shot long too, because I'm going to fade those together. And then Eggman does his action, and then it ends right there. And then we stretch that out. Take this. This one ends right there. And blah-de-blah-de-blah. And so what I do from here, after, let's imagine that I just split all that up, because it's probably boring to watch. So, when I get to a section like this, I'm not actually going to lay it to the audio, because I can't hear it. I don't have my headphones in right now. But, basically what I do, I know how the lines... Okay, so, flashback to me shooting the actual scene with my camera and the figures and everything. So I have the script written already, of course. I recommend never shooting without a script, because that is impossible. So what I do is I basically, I just animate to what the dialogue is. And for this scene especially, I have all the creative control ever, because sometimes you have to worry about if your voice actors or actresses will say the lines correctly, like how you want them to say, and you can always give them direction. But sometimes you're limited, and sometimes you'll animate to a scene, or to a line rather, that is not the way the voice actor or actress portrays it. So, I guess it's always good to animate after you have all the lines and you know exactly how they're going to sound, so then you can animate to specifically how they'll sound. I rarely ever, have any problems with this. I usually just shoot and get the lines, or maybe I'll get the lines first. I think for this episode I got most of the lines before I shot anything. Okay, so right here, Eggman's saying, "Every time I've attacked you, there was a clear motive in mind, blah, blah, blah." So... for this, you kind of just feel out where you want him to move. I shot it accordingly, and sometimes I change it up in editing, or sometimes I repeat some frames. I don't repeat frames very often, because I try to avoid that, but sometimes I do. And actually right here, you can even see, I know all of these frames over here are according to just this part of the line, so I put them over there for organization's sake, and then I know all of these ones are to this line right here. It's all the same line, but in this chunk and versus blah blah. So I'm gonna want Eggman to say every time I've attacked, or every time I've attacked you, it was usually with a clear motive in mind, and you kind of feel out the audio to the animation as you go. And then he drops his arms, and then he leans back, and then he leans forward with his fists. So, I don't really know what I'm even trying to say in this tutorial, quote-unquote. But, I don't know, I just thought I'd give you some insight in how I edit. This one I actually split up, or was this the one no. Was it the one I just split up? Actually, yeah, it was. So, I don't know, I just thought I'd share with how I go about, kind of splitting things up in the editing process, and how I kind of tailor that to the audio. You see, all of this is already not split up, but I already put it all down on the video track. In fact, I'm all the way up till when right here, this is actually just an image I took of the script to kind of keep track of where I was going, especially with this scene, because there'd be instances where I would shoot 3 different Sonic lines at the same time, and then but they would be all spaced out. So it's good to shoot pictures. I print the actual script out, so I can actually just put the script in front of the computer, or the camera, and just take a picture of it to keep track of where I'm going. And even then, sometimes it gets a little confusing. But, because it's easier to set up, if I'm shooting a scene like this with just 2 characters and it's just back and forth, and then some shots with both of them, like this one, it's really easy to shoot multiple scenes of just Eggman, not that Sonic, of just Eggman. In fact, I think I shot at least 2 of those together, because then you don't have to keep moving this set and camera around and repositioning and everything. So, I don't really know where I was going with this. I was just in the middle of editing and thought, hey, this would be fun. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and, well, the episode's already out by the time this is out, so I hope you enjoyed episode 24. I'm certainly excited for you guys to see it at this time. It is not out for me, so it is just, you know. Oh, I forgot when you do Vegas, I have a drop-down menu that came down, but it doesn't show up on the recording for some reason. That's really annoying. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.